Welcome to the Real Estate Niche Show, a show that focuses on top real estate professionals who specialize in different niches of real estate. My name is Ben Kogut. Join me as we dive deep into the professional and personal lives of the experts of the real estate industry. Welcome to the Real Estate Niche Show. I'm your host, Ben Kogut, and today I have a friend of mine, Matt Teifke, is a real estate and cannabis entrepreneur based here in Austin, Texas, or Round Rock specifically. His partner with Alex Coffman, they run Teifke Real Estate, which is known as TRE, and together they manage over 130 agents. In addition, he's the co-owner of TRE Property Solutions and Longhorn Construction and Development. He's a huge believer in the power of connecting and adding value. He seeks to shine light on what is possible and growth within others. He earned a real estate license 12 years ago when he was 18 years old, and he's still just as passionate now about real estate industry as ever. He grew up in Round Rock and AKA Opportunity City. We'll definitely want to dive into that. He currently has 2 baby boys and he's married to Lexi. Thank you, Matt, so much for coming on the Real Estate Show. Is there anything I missed in your bio?
No, man, it's getting me all jacked up. I love it. Thank you for kind of laying it out there. And I'm really excited to be here, and I appreciate you and putting on the show and everything.
My pleasure. You know, I was one of the first podcasts I got to go on was yours. So that kind of was inspired me on this journey. And so let's dive into what is your real estate niche? Share with everybody what's your niche, how you got into it, and what you're working on.
Yeah, sure. The niche, I would say, it's a little play on words, but our company's called TRE. We also call it Tree sometimes, but entrepreneur. So literally, we write it out. EN capital TRE-preneur, and the focus that we have in the vision is to make money in and on real estate as far as a core focus of our business. And so we really promote getting more out of real estate for yourself as an investor, as an agent, and not for our brokerage. So we say, come here and get more out of real estate for you, Ben, or whoever it may be. And there's a lot of different ways to view real estate. There's all kinds of worlds and things that are going on. And throughout my career, I've done a good job of being around a lot of different aspects and understanding not everything, but a lot of different components like, syndication, retail leasing, all kinds of stuff. Pretty much the way I view it is everything except for farm and ranch and office space. But I've worked at a high level within different companies. And what I've tried to do is create a business that is the best version of every brokerage that I've ever been at, but then also has a component of we really understand being an entrepreneur and we really promote that. And so make the commissions, but also don't forget to own real estate, because if you're just making commissions, to me, it's just like working any other job and you're not going to be getting the biggest value that real estate can provide. And so it's very different. Like most brokerages say, get your sales up. What's your volume this year? And we're kind of more like, hey, what's your net worth? Are you owning more? Are you getting more out of real estate? And it's resonating with a certain type of person that, as far as I know, I'm sure there's things out there, but as far as everyone I've looked at and seen and talked to, there's not a lot of other options. Like you go to, any other brokerages and they really try to put you down a certain path, which is not wrong. It's just different. Like get really great at, listing agreements or listing presentations. And we're kind of like, hey, come do all of it. And so there's a certain type of person that's really thriving within this. And, we call them entrepreneurs. And yeah, we're trying to give everything we possibly can to give people that opportunity to succeed through our background, our knowledge, and then resources that we have kind of accumulated over time.
Love that, Matt. Yeah, I have definitely observed in you that you care about people. And to the extent, I know that if you care about the people, I mean, you have 130 agents in how many years? I mean, 5 years, 6 years?
Yeah, I mean, we've had the business for 5, but really, I brought on Alex So it's kind of a long story, but it was mostly property management for the first 3 years. And what happened is we ended up partnering with the company and then selling that. And once that was taken care of, I had maybe 7 agents and didn't have a ton of support as far as like internal structures. I was always there and I always supported them and we gave them a good commission split. But at that point, I was like, I really need to turn this into a business. Otherwise, I'm just going to lose these agents and they're, it's just not going to turn into anything. So Alex became a partner of mine January of last year. And so it's really, been grown really quickly. Like we had 7 agents then, and now we're at 130. We have 4 in Houston, 6 in Corpus, and then the rest in Austin.
Nice. And maybe share a little bit more about what it is that you're looking for right now.
Yeah. So, we have a couple different models. I'll just kind of lay out our structure, our commission splits and everything.
Sure.
But ultimately we are looking for people that fit our core values and our core focus. The core values are opportunities for everybody, like people that really want more and want to put in that work. There's an opportunity here for you. We believe in what we say with, not for. People work with us, not for us. And then the whole in and on is our core focus. So we're looking for people that kind of agree with that and want that. And then if we can get aligned and they can plug in, let's get to work. And so there's 2 different models. One is a 90-10 commission split. It's a $15,000 cap. So once they make $15,000 for the brokerage, they keep 100% of their commission. There's E&O insurance on every transaction. And then it's $135 per month. That is like the old school model. There's a new one that we just implemented last month, which is just an option if people want it, but it's the same structure as far as the monthly, except it's a 70-30 split with no cap. And with that is about 15 hours of training per week. So pretty much every day there's 2 classes. Like today there was a property management class, and then there was another one about following up with your buyers. And we have about 15 or 20 people on most of those classes on average. And so they're really liking that. And it was interesting because we just implemented this and we didn't know if people were going to love it or not, but there hasn't been a lot of pushback. Like they're okay with the split because they're getting a lot more. And they're like, yeah, we're really loving this. We're going to go do more deals. It's a 1-year commitment, so they can do that. And then whenever they're done, they can switch to the other program if they want. But just looking for people that, like I said, want more out of real estate. And we truly look at agents as partners more than anything. We're not the type that are going to say, make more calls or, get your sales volume up unless you're kind of alluding to you want help with that. And, it can be a challenge, right? Because there's a lot of people calling, a lot of people texting, just like anything. I think they're all great people. But not everyone is like actively performing, right? And so the challenge, just to be real, is like I have people that they say they want more and they say they need more, and then I put myself out there to help them, but then they don't always do anything. And so that can be pretty frustrating because I want to help, but then you can't always recognize if they're just talking about it or if they're being real. And, I don't know if this is kind of a side topic, but maybe it's valuable for people. Just like random example, like a girl the other day, she was asking for leads, and we have another agent that I teamed her up with, and she sent her some leads, and she's like, "Hey, I'm helping somebody move. I'll call you back tonight, and we can talk about the leads." And I'm like, man, I want people that, to a fault. Like if I send you a phone number, you don't even ask who what name it is. You just call it, right? I mean, if you have to ask, like, should I call this lead? It's like, no, the lead's already gone. And so some people get that, some people don't, and those are just, that's like one challenge that we work through.
Nice. So are you going to sit with that person or have someone sit with that person and say, hey, like, make the call, don't like, maybe they're just getting in their own way or something like that?
Try to. And one thing I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to evolve as a person. And like, I've had like this bad thought of like, all right, if people aren't doing it, it's because they're either lazy or they just don't understand. And I don't want that to be the answer. And I know that can't be the answer. So I'm just realizing like people are motivated by different things. They have different goals, and try to get on an individual level, like to that point. And I guess the tricky thing is, and even for myself or people, is you might not even always be aware or know what that is. But it's not always to make more money. I mean, it probably rarely is, because, like we said, opportunity city here. I mean, if you can't go out and find people that want to buy real estate, like, I don't know what you're doing, right? And so you could go find people that want to buy it. That's the easy part. Now go find the opportunities, and it's there if you're putting in the work. But not everybody wants to close, 10 deals a month and show 50 houses a week. And so just trying to figure out the best balance. But that's what we try to have here is like, if you want more out of it, you're always going to have the support. If you want to be part-time, that's totally fine. Do that as well, and we'll support you when needed.
Nice. You mentioned Opportunity City, and I know that you use that phrase often and the social media things that you share. Can you maybe elaborate further on what that means, that phrase, Opportunity City?
Yeah. It's evolving. It's pretty cool. So one thing, Alex being the detail and process guy, we went and paid money to trademark that. It took a couple months, but it started with Austin is Opportunity City. There's opportunities for everybody, right? Like real estate, restaurants, whatever it may be, education, tech, government. Like there's a lot going on here. And as you know, I mean, fundamentals of real estate are driven on a few things, and it's jobs and people are the two biggest things. And as much as we like to say, be weary of like the market changing, and it very well could, the jobs and the people to this area doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. So we have an opportunity to go and stay ahead of that. And, it sounds cheesy, but to make a dream a reality, whatever that may be for you, there's demand, there's new things coming, the market's changing. I almost believe that like nobody even truly understands the value of things here because it's changing like every day. And so that's what it started as is, hey, this is Opportunity City, baby. Get to work. And now it's kind of evolving to, it's more of a personal thing is like, we believe that within TRE, it's Opportunity City. So TRE is Opportunity City for you to come and get more. There's opportunities everywhere. We have people that only wholesale or that only sell commercial or do management or do one of a multiple of these things. And because we have a pretty good background of like connections and understanding, and we put in the work, we can help you. Like you could come here and manage 20 properties. You could sell 2 a month. You could buy 1 every 6 months. And very few people promote that on the brokerage side.
Love it. I love the fact that you own Opportunity City and you have 130 agents and you got a wife and 2 little kids and you got projects, you own real estate all over the place. I got to ask, Matt, like how do you stay organized? How do you do all this? And you got a lot on the plate.
Yeah. A lot of support. I mean, everything's done with great people. That's one thing that I feel very lucky just to have grown up and seen people that built pretty, actually, one guy, my uncle, and I wasn't super close to him, but he built a massive asphalt and paving and construction business. And I tried to take everything I could from him and people like that, but he just really took care of people. He bet on people. He was always there to support them. He was very loyal, and they were the same. And so we've got 4 or 5 people that have been with us since the beginning, and they really help things a lot. Like I do one thing, which is like bringing in business and networking and building the brand, or not necessarily building the brand, but like promoting the brand. And then a lot of other people do other aspects. And so actually everyone that works with us is really happy. Like they like what they do. We don't put a lot of pressure on them, but we all work hard. And it's just people, man. Like, and I'm sure it's like this with other companies, but as far as like the public appeal, it never gets talked about that much. But like Tesla or Google or Facebook or whatever, like the first like 10, 20, 50, 100 people are all probably, in some ways really close, I would imagine, and like really happy. And that's the bet, is to bet on people, take care of them, and for them to be around for a long time. And I've seen businesses, like my dad works at a rock yard here in Austin, and like the boss is hardcore, man. And like, he will belittle people and fire you if you're in, and he has a good business. They make a lot of money, but like he's never going to build a massive business, in my opinion. And so that's just the way that I've seen it. And it's all about the people, like Alex, Andrew, my wife, Kat. I have an assistant, Leah. They all they like what they do, and they love us, and we love them. We take care of each other. And when you get around people like that, there's just like a lot that you can accomplish.
But love it. And so to that point, let's take that a little further. What's the next 1, 3, 5 years having in store for you?
Yeah, we just want to keep like getting this vision more clear to other people. Like, be really clear, do you want to get more? Do you want to own? Like, TRE is the place to go. We want to constantly be making the systems better. Like, I like to have a lot of ideas, whether these things pan out or not. But like, I'd love to have blockchain technology where agents can invest like $500 or $1,000 in some of the deals that we're doing, and not just have to have 25. So we want to implement those things to kind of help with that goal of getting more, right? And like, yeah, put $500, put 1,000. And then we want to find partners in multiple states, multiple cities. I'm a big fan of the Trammell Crow method, where he basically just had partners all over the country. And that's what I want to do. I don't really want to, we want to build this as big as we can. We want to have a great company, but we want to do it with people, just like we've done so far. And, we're getting into Corpus, right? And like, Corpus is a great place, but they're not very innovative on their brokerage structure. And I'm sure this is like this for a lot of big cities, but Austin is really competitive, and if we can figure out something that works here, we're doing something right. And then it's easier to take it to other cities. I'm sure like New York and California all have really competitive, but Austin seems to have every kind of brokerage model that exists. And then there's the tech focus here. And so we're trying to do really well here and then branch out with local partners.
Got it. All right. So anybody listening, if you are looking for a partner that can help add value and build those relationships, Matt's your guy. And especially if you're in the Corpus or other parts of Texas, get in early. This is a opportunity. Literally the owner of Opportunity City. Man, I love that.
Yeah, man, real estate's it's a people business, and that's the other thing that I think has led to some of my successes. Probably about 4 years ago, just probably how I reached out to you. I just started reaching out to everyone I could, and then I just really try hard to stay in touch. I try to figure out ways to help, and the way I view it is, there's not a lot of people that are super serious about this. They might be committed, but not like really, really in it and live it. And so I try to find those people and I try to stay in touch. And to me, it's just a matter of time before something happens with those people. And even if it's not a monetary thing, like it's just fun and, connect with people and grow together.
Well, I certainly appreciate you reaching out to me and inviting me to be a guest on your podcast. And as I mentioned, and everyone knows, I'm new to the podcasting world, so I'm curious what advice you might have for me as I start going down this journey.
My biggest advice would be to, the coolest thing is there's like probably 3 to 5 values that you get out of doing a podcast. But my biggest advice would be to stay in touch with the people that you have on your show and figure out how to help them out and like stay consistent with that. But you get to like, at least for me, like I get to sit here and like learn, right? Someone's like teaching me. I also get content to release, and I also get to build a relationship. So I really believe in like trying to get multiple values out of whatever you're doing. Like that's 3 values at least out of just one thing, and try to do that in everything you do in life and add value. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, man. Like sometimes I was trying to reach out to people and they like, who are you? Like, I don't want to meet you for coffee, but oh, you got a podcast? I'd love to come on. They're like, all right, well, we can build a relationship this way. We'll have coffee later. And it's been pretty fun.
Nice. Yeah, I think I've already gotten a little taste of that so far. And then I have some questions that I like to ask everybody. And so maybe we'll kind of transition into that. And so the first question is, how does Matt invest in himself? Aside from some of the stuff that you already mentioned, is there anything else that you could kind of talk about?
Yeah, I haven't always been super focused on health, but I have been really trying in the last like 3 or 4 months. So I work out twice a week in the mornings, and I got some good guys that help keep me accountable. And then I try to play basketball once a week. So, everyone knows health is wealth. So really just focused on that the best I can. And then I do a lot of reading. Love to read the Bible. I like to read a lot of history books. And then I'm one thing that's kind of cool. I'm going to start teaching college classes. I'm going to teach real estate at ACC. And so
amazing.
Yeah. It's kind of random, but somebody that I know does it, and he asked if I would do it. It's not a huge commitment right now because it's just going to be one class in the spring semester. It's real estate math. But like, I'm going to be investing in like learning how to teach. And it's cool to try and push yourself. Like, I'm always up for new challenges. And I think that's healthy, is to like have new things that you take on and just be willing to jump in. So those are kind of ways that I view it.
So that leads me perfectly into the next question, which you partially answered, but I'll ask it anyways. How do you invest in the community?
Yeah, I try just some of those things. I'm on a couple boards. I'm on the YMCA board, and then I'm on a government affairs board. So I'm always kind of thinking through how to be more involved. Like I have this like thing where I feel a little led to politics, and I used to think it was like running for politics, but I don't really feel that way anymore. But there's something about it that I like following bills. I like knowing what's going on. And so maybe there's something with that in the future. So these boards are kind of like helping me get started there. And I just try to get back. Like I literally meet anybody and everybody. So a lot of people that are, in their career 10 years down the road, they're not really willing to meet people, and that's fine. I get it. But if someone's brand new and they want to talk real estate, I'll go give them 30 minutes to an hour. I'll buy them coffee, and I'll do everything I can to support them.
You hear that, everybody? Hit up Matt. He'll buy you some coffee, and he's always open to adding value to everyone and everything. And so to that point, I'd love to plant the seed in your ear, Matt. If you ever see that there's an opportunity for me to kind of join you guys at the ACC, I would be interested in participating in that as well.
Yeah, man. So you'd be great at it for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. Like easy one to start would be to come be a speaker at a class, but I can definitely connect you with, the people there as well.
Sure. Yeah, that would be definitely something I'd be interested in. So
love it.
Great. Well, let's, we're winding down a little bit in time here. Let's talk a little bit about this question that I love to throw at people, which is, how do you define the word success?
Yeah. I'm going to have to steal this from somewhere, but I loved it. Cause I've heard that question, and I used to like the whole, someone once said, to do what you want, how you want, when you want. I was like, that's pretty good. But then what I heard that I really loved is someone said, being as close as possible to the person that you were put on this earth to be. And I was like, man, that's pretty good. So that's how I would define it. And I've listened to some of your podcasts, and people have great answers, man. Like I really like, there was one guy that said, look at Richard Branson's life. Would you say he's a success? Yes. But what if he was in a cabin writing books all day? No, not to his standards, but in reality, you can be a success doing that. So that's why I like, what you're put on this earth to be, because I think we all have a purpose, and if we can get to that purpose or as close as possible, then that is a success.
I love that. And shout out to my man, Jason Mittman for that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, he's great. Awesome. And so maybe let me ask you this question. If somebody wanted to reach out to you, tell us how they might be able to reach you, and we'll put all that information in the show notes.
Yeah, man. I'm very easy to get a hold of. My email is just my first and last name at Gmail. I'm happy to give out my cell phone number. It's 512-914-4806. Our website's Teifke Real Estate. We're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. We're very easy to get a hold of, and we're very responsive. So would love to hear from people, hear what they think about the show, hear if they have questions or ways that I can help. And we'll get back to you, a couple hours.
Amazing. Well, is there anything else that you might want to share as we start winding things down?
Man, I just appreciate you, and I want to encourage you to keep doing this. And I enjoy you having me on, and I'm just excited, man. I mean, I could start asking you tons of questions because I'm curious. Syndication.
Yeah. Well, let's table that for another episode. But yeah, the syndication business is incredible right now. There's way more investors than deal flow at this particular point. We're at the end of December 2021, but it has definitely been a journey. I think when I went on your podcast, I think we probably had somewhere to the tune of $150 million worth of assets under management. And just probably about 2 years later, we're kind of approaching around 400 AUM, which is pretty exciting and humbling for us.
Are you noticing that like it's a lot different when you're making calls and when people are calling you, like now that there's a bit more of a track record and assets there? Or
it's I think momentum for sure. Yeah, the fact that we're providing really great communication, monthly returns, and we thrived, frankly, after the whole shutdown, pandemic, and all that. And so I think that really helped us build rapport and trust with all of our investors. And the volume of people coming into my world has definitely accelerated. And so one thing that I've learned about myself that I didn't know before I got involved in this is that I love to teach. And so when you mentioned the ACC thing, my eyes definitely opened up to that idea. And so if I could maybe start with, becoming a guest speaker or something like that, or however I can add value, helping the next generation, I'm definitely interested in that. And so,
that's great. And I know you have a natural skill for what you do on the syndication side, and I'm excited, man. Well, if you want to teach, like, there's no reason that you can't. And remind me, because I know, did you go to acting school?
I did.
Do you have a real estate degree or focus? Or
no, acting is it's an MBA in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I knew that. The only reason I asked is, and I'm sure they can figure it out, but like, because I have that master's degree in real estate, and they were like tripping out, like, because it's kind of rare, and so it was like a shoo-in to get the job. They're like, because they want real estate people, but there's not a lot of real estate degrees. But I know that acting's like really respected, and I'm sure that like that would apply in some way to this.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and then I think, CCIM is also a pretty prestigious accolade that I went through all that. And so, I mean, if that's important to them, we could certainly have that conversation.
Well, man, we'll be teaching classes together.
Amen, brother. Well, you hear that first on the Real Estate Niche Show, everybody. And so, Matt, I really, really, really appreciate you, who you are, and your time and the wisdom that you're willing to share with me and our listeners here. And, everyone knows I just really, really appreciate the feedback. Let us know, reach back out to me, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. That would really, really help. Write a good positive review. Go hit up Matt, and all that kind of stuff. And on that note, I think we'll wind things down. Thanks again, everybody, for listening to the Real Estate Niche Show. And I haven't figured out how to end these things. How do you like to end podcasts?
Guys, go get it. It's Opportunity City, baby. You got one opportunity in this life. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. See y'all soon.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Estate Niche Show. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me or the show, you can follow me on Instagram at Ben Kogut and at The Real Estate Niche Show. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.